Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, the sides of a rectangle are represented in the figure below. Which expression represents the perimeter of the rectangle? Okay, so we want to find out the expression that actually represents the perimeter for this rectangle. Is that right? And first thing I'm going to ask you is, what's perimeter, right? Okay, so perimeter is when we add all the sides. Okay, so with that in mind, we're gonna need to add up all the sides. Now notice how there's nothing on the top side, but if you guys remember, rectangle have opposite sides that are congruent, right? They're parallel and congruent. So those two should be the same, and the left should be the same as the right, which is like the width. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and write down my expression of 5x squared minus 6x plus 9, and on the right side it will be 4x minus 5. Okay, so there's two things you can do. You can write down everything and do combining like terms after that, or if you notice, you have two of the same expressions for the length and two of the same expressions for the width. So we can multiply by 2 and use the distributive property, right? That would just help us not to have like a lot of stuff written on the paper. So I'm going to start with 2 times, and then the length is represented with this expression. Is that right? And then I'm going to multiply 2 times the width, which is 4x minus 5. You see that? So this over here, it's the length, and I have to multiply by 2 because there's 2 of them. And this inside the parentheses is the width, and I have to multiply by 2 because there's 2 of them. Is that right? Okay, so now we're going to need to do distributive property, which means you multiply 2 times each one of the terms inside the parentheses. Okay, so let's do it. 2 times 5x squared gives me 10x squared. 2 times negative 6x is negative 12x. And 2 times 9 is 18. And we're done with the first one, right? Now the second one, we're going to do the same thing. You're going to multiply 2 times everything that is inside the parentheses. And that will give me 2 times 4 is 8. And 2 times negative 5 is negative 10, right? So I can write down minus 10. Are we good? Okay, so now we're going to combine like terms, okay? So what can I combine with my first one? Okay, so I'm going to underline this one. This is my x squared, right? Can you find me another x squared? No, right? Therefore, we're going to just bring it down like that. Okay, so we're done with that one. And how about this one? Now, notice what I'm going to do for the x. I'm going to write down 2 lines. There's a lot of ways that you guys can, you can either highlight them, you can put circles, and this is another thing you guys want to do, right? So do you have another one that has an x by itself? The 8x, right? So don't put 1 or don't do 1 line. You need to do how many? 2. And that way you know that that goes with the negative 12, right? So I'm going to write down that one over here. Negative 12x and positive 8x. Is that right? Okay, so you know that if one is positive, the other one is negative, you don't add, you need to subtract. And that will give me negative 4x. And that was going to go next. Okay, and what's the last thing that I can do? My constant, right? And my constant will be 18 and negative 10. I'm going to put a dot on that one and a dot on this one. And that tells me those two goes together, right? So we're going to work it out here. So we have a positive 18 and a negative 10, right? And again, that would be a positive 8 because we subtracted the numbers, right? So let's write down my answer as a plus 8. Okay, so let's find an answer that goes like that. Can letter A be my answer? No, it has a positive 28. and I'm looking for a positive 8, right? What about B? That's way off my problem, right? What about C? Does that look like our answer? Yes, it is, right? And D has a 5x squared. Nope. No, not that one, right? So my answer will be, yes, letter C. That matches our answer right here. Okay, awesome.